crew, we're back for week 2. Today is hamstrings, and I'm going to walk you through what you need to start, and then we're going to get going. So grab your circle band. This is a similar band that we used last week. Remember, you can use a longer band like this and tie it off into a smaller circle. You will need a longer band too. It doesn't matter if it's tubed or flat like this, although this is preferable, and I'll show you why when we get to that exercise. You'll also want some gliders. So if you remember last week, I showed you how to use a towel instead of these gliders you can buy online. Towel's perfectly appropriate, works just as easily. You can also use any kind of shipping bag. So I tell my athletes a lot to grab one of those white and blue Amazon bags that their stuff comes in. It is really great at reducing friction between you and the ground. You can use a piece of cardboard. People have used Frisbees. There are a lot of options out there. Grab what you need and what you have. What we also need is some kind of mobility tool. So any kind of ball, from density of a tennis ball to about a density of a lacrosse or baseball. You can even use one of these spiky balls that I'm going to show you how to use later on. A little bit more intense, obviously. Grab something that is just easy, and we can go from there. You can adjust, and I'll tell you how. You can adjust throughout your mobility routine to make it a little bit more intense and a little bit easier. So grab a ball, grab some bands, grab your glider. First exercise. We are going to have our bands around our knees. All exercises today are going to be done in 3 sets of 12. So again, this week when we're doing hamstrings, we do want to activate our glutes while our hamstrings are doing our movement or doing our stabilizing or whatever we're trying to focus on in the moment. We want our glutes to be active as well, so those two are co-contracting together, similar, again, how we want them to respond while we're running. So you're going to get down on your back in your nice glute bridge position, starting position. I'm going to have you dig your heels in, but this time I want you to increase the degree of your knees just a little bit. So you're going to walk your heels out just a bit, push them in, pull them back just like last week, and you're going to come up. So our first rep is going to start with our leg out. When you extend your leg, do not drop your hip. Make for sure it stays up nice and tall. You should feel that upper hamstring really kick in when you lift your leg. And after you're in a really good position, hands down flat beside you. We're going down, up. We're doing 12 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not resting in between. 6. I don't like that tush touch the ground. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch sides, keep up nice and tall. Other leg goes straight out. Put your hands up, make for sure your hips aren't falling in. Back down and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that toe nice and tall. 6, 7. Remember digging in and pulling back. 8 with that heel. 9, 10, 11, 12. Good, and rest. Adjust as you need to. Again, we're getting back in a good glute bridge position. Remember from last week, we have our knees out just a little bit, so we have the band nice and tight and up. All right, and check your form. Legs out, band is tight again, foot is up, heel is digging down and pulling back. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good, switch sides. Heels down, digging in, pulling back, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, good, and down. So as we rest a little bit, I'm going to tell you how to make this harder or easier for our last set. So right now, I'm starting with my knees at about this angle, probably about 60 degrees. If you need it harder, pull or walk your heels out just a little bit further, so you're at about 90 degrees, and then dig and pull from there, and then do your reps. If you need a little bit less, come on into about 45 degrees. It's really easy to modify this to where your body needs and what your body needs, for the day. Let's do set 3. All right, get in good starting position, hips up, heels are digging down and pulling back, leg up, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't let those hips drop, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, good, other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. And rest. All right, take your mini band off. And set it to the side. We'll need another third exercise. Right now I want you to focus on your long band that's looped around something stable. Make for sure that the knotted portion of that band is not going to be on your heel, which is where we're looping it. Okay, the benefit of having a flat band is that you can actually spread it out and put it on your heel so that it almost, if you guys can see this, probably can't, it kind of wraps around the heel cup, the very, very upper portion of your heel cup in your shoe, and that helps stabilize the band to your shoe. What we don't want is the band to be up on our Achilles and really rubbing every time we do a rep and causing some irritation there. So keeping it on our foot and nice and flat will help prevent that, okay? So what you're gonna do is come down on your stomach. You're gonna stack your hands so your head has somewhere to sit. This exercise is focusing on the upper range of our hamstring range of motion. We often strengthen in about 2/3 range, and we don't get that upper range that I'll show you here in a second. And what I want is our hamstrings to be nice and strong throughout their entire range, so we don't have any weaknesses, we don't have any problematic areas that might cause some increased chance of injury or funky mechanics when we run. So what you're going to see is that this exercise works this top range, or that last little bit of range that we have in our knee bend. So we are going to go from about 90 degrees up into in range, 90 degrees up into in range. And when we get to in range, we're going to hold it for about 2 seconds. And then we're going to come back down to about 90 to 100 degrees and go again, okay? So make for sure the band is nice and flat. If you can, tuck it under that heel cup, just a little bit at the top of the heel cup. Hands are stacked. Your other leg can be up or down. It's up to you. That doesn't matter. And ready? Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. That's number 2. Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. 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 2 more. Pull, hold, 2, 3, down, and pull, hold, 2, 3, down. Okay, we are going to rest here. So I will tell you from lots of experience that if we did both sides, like alternating sides, we would have to switch this band up quite a bit, and it increases the chance of it popping off mid-rep and rolling up, and we don't want that. So once you get a nice secure hold, we're just going to rest in between each set, and then we're going to switch sides. So having said all that, it is time for number 2. Ready? Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. 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 Last one. Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. Okay. Then we're going to rest here for a second and do our last set of these. So if you need this to be harder or easier, scoot your body closer toward the bench or your couch if you're at home like me, or you can scoot out away from it, and that makes it harder, of course, getting more tension through that resistance band. All right, last one, let's go. Pull, hold, 2, 3, down. 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 2 more. Pull, 1, 2, down. Pull, 2, 3, down. Whew, good job. Okay, pop that band off. Readjust it. And then position it really securely on the other leg. So I like to get a little tension in it to make for sure it's in the right place. You can tuck it behind that heel cup cushion. And I know it's secure. All right. Hands are stacked. Heads on hands. Everybody ready? And pull, 2, 3, down. 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 Pull, 2, 3, and down. Perfect timing for my band to mess up, because we are done with the first set. All right, back in position. And pull, 2, 3, down. Pull, 2, 3, down. Pull, 2, 3, down. Pull, 2, 3, down. Pull, 2, 3, down, 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 3 more, pull, 2, 3, down, pull, 2, 3, down, last one, pull, 2, 3, down. So if you guys are having trouble like me with this band a little bit, what I find really useful is making sure, and I didn't do the first time, that it's not only tucked on the top, but that it can wrap around my heel at the bottom. So it can grab some of the tread on my shoes. Much better. Last one. Alrighty, hands are stacked. And go. Pull, 2, 3, down. 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 Pull, 2, 3, down, 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 last one, pull, 2, 3, down. Nice. All right, grab your mini bands and grab your gliders. So our mini band is going to go up around our knees again. And you're pushing out on the mini band the whole time. And I'm going to get to a little bit of a slicker surface. So I find that my yoga mat causes a lot of friction with gliders, whatever glider type I'm using. So I'm going to get on my hard surface and place my heels in the center of my glider. So you're going to lay down in a nice glute position. Hands are down, glutes are up. We're going to slide out and slide in. And the whole time we are sliding, again, we are keeping our knees pressing into this band, stabilizing our hips, our core is on, hands are down for a little bit of extra stabilization. Ready? Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep those hips nice and tall. 10, 11, 12. And down. Resting for just a little bit. Please focus on your hips while you're doing your extensions and flexions or that movement with a glider. What tends to happen is we tend to sink just a little bit, and we want to get that glute max nice and activated the entire time. So we want to make for sure that we're squeezing our glutes to keep our hips as high as possible. All right, ready, set, 2, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Come back down. You saw about rep 8. I felt myself slip a little bit. I just readjusted and kept going. Okay. Another couple deep breaths. Up and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good, back down. Done. with the strength part. Okay. Take your gliders, set them to the side, set your band to the side, readjust your yoga mat. Just like me, you had to get it out of the way for a second. And grab whatever ball you got to use for today's mobility. So I'm going to start with this guy, but really this is just a way of increasing the intensity. It's changing the density of the ball or changing kind of the structure of the ball. So again, these have those little spikes on them to get less or a little bit more surface area on the tips of those little spikes to help get into those muscle fibers and those fascial fibers a little bit more. So we are going to work on restrictions throughout the muscle and fascia. So fascia is connective tissue that surrounds our muscles. Surrounds every muscle head, it surrounds every group of muscles. Fascia is throughout our body. What happens is that sometimes those fascial fibers that continuously realign, meaning they're continuously reforming to whatever stimulus is placed on them. So if you did a hamstring exercise that required them to remodel, they're going to do so. That's constantly happening in our body. If we don't give those fibers the right input so that they know how to realign correctly, what happens is that they kind of get mushed around a little bit and can kind of get jumbled, right? And you can get a restriction in that fascia. So you can also have restrictions between fascial coverings of muscles. You can have fascial restrictions in the fascial fibers themselves. It's complex, but the answer is simple. So I'm going to start with my hamstrings, obviously. I'm going to start with this little ball. And I'm going to place it about mid-hamstring and just start working around and seeing where I find a little bit of a tender point, a little bit of a restriction. I have some restrictions up towards the insertion point of my hamstrings themselves. So I'm going to start up there, probably with me, to find a good spot that I can focus on. I know that upper insertional hamstring is a problem area for some of us, including myself. So I'm going to start there. I found a good spot. It's a little bit tender. I can feel there's a little bit something in there. Sometimes you can feel it almost like a crunchy sensation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here and just place some pressure on that area. It'll be a little intense. It needs to be a little intense. Don't push it to the point where you're kind of clenching or guarding around that area. We don't want that. So after about 20 or 30 seconds, what you're going to start doing is what we call cross friction. So I'm going to move side to side on that ball. And then I'm going to start moving up and down. And then in a diagonal. Because we don't know how those fascial fibers have laid down. We know that, hey, there's a point there where they're not laying down correctly, but we don't know exactly which direction that is. We don't have, MRI vision where we can see that soft tissue. So what we're going to do is go in multiple directions to make for sure that we're not missing any of those fibers that might be malaligned. So we're going to stay here for a couple minutes, just working out the area, making for sure we are as productive as possible. You can stay on a ball doing these massage techniques for a pretty significant time. You don't want to create any tenderness to the touch. Of course, you don't want to create any bruising, but if you're at that moderate discomfort range, we can stay there for a good amount of time, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and it still be productive where we're not hurting or irritating anything. But for the sake of time, I'm going to stop for now. I'm going to show you the exact same thing with this. Literally, I'm just going to place it other side, same area. I'm going to have to press through my hands a little bit more, and I'm going to get my foot nice and flat, my opposite foot, so I can push some weight through that. Because you're moving to a more intense ball, you want to start with less weight through your down leg. And then you can start releasing back onto it to find that nice mid-range discomfort that's productive, but not going to cause us to clench or guard or get any bad habits that is going to be counter to what we're trying to do. So I'll probably stay on here for another 5 or 10 minutes. Stay on here as long as you guys need to. It's a great tool. You can use this same technique any area in the body. What you want to do is roll around. Sometimes you'll feel specific areas with a foam roller and you won't be able to get to it quite as directly as you want. This is a great way of doing that. Get on a ball, get on a lacrosse ball, get on a spiky torture ball, and use cross friction to help break up those areas and allow them to remodel in the correct direction. All right, that is it for hamstring week 2. I will be back on here for hip flexor week 2, and I'm excited to join you guys for that. All right, have a great day.